Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. Earlier this morning, Kalonzo Musyoka led his principals in Oka into signing a coalition agreement, which most likely they are going to deposit with the registrar of political parties today, after which we might find Kalonzo in this team signing a deal with Azimio as constituent Oka coalition parties. Because as Oka coalition, then they cannot enter into another coalition with Azimio or with maybe Kenya Kwanza Alliance, because technically the law does not allow two coalitions to enter into a coalition. And that has been a topic that has been widely debated all over. So that signing of Oka coalition agreement simply means Kalonzo, or rather Oka, will not enter into coalition with Azimio or with Kenya Kwanza. But they can actually work with Azimio or Kenya Kwanza as constituent parties, or rather as individual parties. And largely politically, that also just shows the kind of indecisiveness of Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo Musyoka can still just not make up his mind. And also when he was speaking during the signing agreement, Kalonzo made it very clear that if Azimio, rather the other side, is still intolerant, then they might go all the way to the ballot. An indication that Kalonzo up to now, when I'm talking, has not fully made up his mind to join or work with Azimio. But nonetheless, is most likely they might work with Azimio. So in this video, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to analyze and see the political implications, or rather what that political move means politically. And before we do that, let's just have a look at this short clip of that signing agreement.
The principles to hold the coalition agreements for a picture moment. For a picture moment, please raise it high up a little, not to cover your face. You may remove your mask. Ladies and gentlemen, the One Kenya Alliance coalition agreement is signed. Coalition agreement is signed. Principals, please lift it up a little bit. Please lift it high up a little bit. Picture moment. Picture moment. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies. You may take your seats.
One thing I noticed during that signing, or rather during that event, was that there were some very strong aspirants from Luo Nyanza who were also part of that event. And actually David Ochieng was also one of the principals that actually signed that agreement. An indication that they have done their investigations properly, and they know that that team of Oka will just eventually support Raila Odinga, because Ochieng is on record campaigning and supporting Raila Odinga for the presidency. And then there was also the presence of Nicholas Gumbo. Nicholas Gumbo is a very strong aspirant for Siaya gubernatorial seat, and is also on record campaigning and supporting Raila Odinga. So the presence of these Luo aspirants is an indication enough that eventually Oka, Kalonzo Musyoka might just team up and support Raila Odinga. Because from where I sit again, I know these Luo aspirants cannot be all that politically naive to enter into a coalition, or rather to enter into an agreement with a coalition that is actually not going to support Raila Odinga. They will be digging their political graves in Luo Nyanza. So the mere fact that they were present, and actually some of them signed, or rather entered into a coalition agreement with Oka, that's an indication enough. Oka team Kalonzo Musyoka are just still buying time, but they are on their way to Azimio. And also the presence of Gideon Moi during that signing agreement is also an indication enough that this is just Azimio Part B. This whole team of Oka, this is just Azimio. In fact, it's just a matter of time before this team just throws their weight behind Raila Amolo Odinga. And in our earlier video, I think yesterday, I did indicate that the moment you are still seeing Gideon Moi angling or rather with Kalonzo Musyoka, then just know Kalonzo is on his way to Raila Odinga. All chances of Kalonzo working with Raila Amolo Odinga are still very, very high. Gideon Moi cannot go against Uhuru Kenyatta. So the mere fact that also Gideon Moi was present and signed that coalition agreement in Oka, that is an indication, ladies and gentlemen, that Azimio, or rather Oka, is just Azimio B. But now the problem is that the person leading that Oka team is Kalonzo Musyoka. And we know Kalonzo Musyoka pretty well. Kalonzo has been coming out as a leader who is actually very indecisive. But now, that is Kalonzo Musyoka. But all in all, when the rubber meets the bullet, it's most definite that that team as Oka will just throw their weight behind Raila Amolo Odinga. And then also that signing agreement, and also even from the way Kalonzo made his speech, that they are willing to work with like-minded parties. And Kalonzo made it very clear that actually they are against corruption. When you talk about corruption, in Kenya is now a given fact that you are most likely referring to William Ruto. So during that signing agreement, Kalonzo made it very clear they are willing to work with like-minded parties and they are very firm against corruption. That is an indication that up to now, or rather up to the time they were signing that agreement, there might be no very serious talks between Kalonzo and William Ruto. But there might be very serious talks between Kalonzo and Raila Amolo Odinga. And I'm saying that because also yesterday, Kalonzo met Raila Amolo Odinga. And we are told that they are to finalize their talks, or rather their negotiations today. So upon signing this agreement, we might find Kalonzo and his Oka team actually just throwing their weight behind Raila Amolo Odinga. If not today, maybe even tomorrow, or maybe some other time later. It should not be a must that they must support Raila today or tomorrow. They can even support Raila after Raila has been crowned as the new presidential candidate. So also from that signing agreement, I saw a Kalonzo Musyoka who still overrates himself. Kalonzo still wants to project himself as the kingmaker. And that is something I've largely been stating here, that is far-fetched. Kalonzo in this year's election is not going to be a kingmaker. Kalonzo must identify with the winning side to be part of the next government. And looking at things objectively without taking sides. If you look at Raila Amolo Odinga, you look at William Ruto. Raila will most easily beat William Ruto in all the regions in Kenya, save for Kalenjin Rift Valley, and currently the mountain seems to be slippery. But across the country, Raila will easily beat William Ruto. That's a given fact. Raila will beat Ruto in Nyanza, in Western, in Kisii, Masai, at the coast, Nairobi, and also in Northeastern. That's a given fact. So we are only left with Kalenjin Rift Valley, and then with the Gema vote, and then with Ukambani. But with the Gema vote, it's still slippery. And I've always maintained that the Gema vote, the moment Uhuru Kenyatta will make it his business to talk to his people passionately, directly, then Gema vote will most likely go the direction of Raila Amolo Odinga. So Gema vote is still a little bit tricky. It's still slippery. But for Kalenjin Rift Valley, that's the only sure vote. Currently, William Ruto is guaranteed. Raila is guaranteed of Luo vote, Kisii vote, Western Luya vote, Masai, Coast, Northeastern, and even votes in Nairobi. Those are sure bets for Raila Amolo Odinga. So in this race, where I sit, Kalonzo must identify himself with the side that is most likely to win this year's election. And that side, from where I sit again, is Azimio, ladies and gentlemen. That is the given fact. But still, Kalonzo again, we all know Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo has been coming out as a leader who is very indecisive. And today's events actually also just shows and proves that. But we are waiting to see whether Kalonzo Musyoka and his Oka Brigade will actually sign a deal with Raila Odinga today, or even tomorrow, or any other time. Because tomorrow, Raila will be crowned officially as the Azimio presidential candidate. And I might just find some of those principals who signed that deal with Kalonzo actually teaming up tomorrow, or rather joining Raila tomorrow, or rather joining Azimio tomorrow to actually crown Raila Odinga as the Azimio presidential candidate. So as I conclude, this ceremony or this event of today is just, let me put it, it has no serious political significance in my opinion. It's not of very much value politically, because after all, Oka most likely will just support Raila Odinga. Otherwise, just as I did indicate, in case you've bumped here for the very first time, and so far you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans, our subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you. God bless Kenya.